Okay, it's time for the Armorer Deep Dive. This is for the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. The Armorer is a skill. It's governed by endurance. It's a combat specialization. If you're watching my videos, you already know the basics about Oblivion, I would assume. Right here in this table, I have the skill levels from 5 to 99. This is the experience required at that level to gain the skill up. So if I'm at 99 skill, I need 254 experience to get to that 100 level. The perks for Armorer: you're a novice, you suck and no one likes you. When you get to Apprentice, your repair hammers last twice as long. How long your repair hammers last is actually completely random. There's nothing you can really do to make them last longer. You have no idea when they'll go away. It is totally random. This does work, though. It does make them last twice as long, so it's better to get to Apprentice. At Journeyman, you can repair magic items, so that's at 50. That's really important. Expert at 75, you can repair up to 125% weapon and armor health, which I'll talk more about later. And at 100, repair hammers never break. Now, how much you repair is based on it's 3 plus your skill level. So if I have armor 27, every click I'm going to repair 30 armor health. Now, so yeah, like I say here, that's a range of 8 to 103 health per click. So the low-level light armor stuff, like leather, has 50 health, like some of the items. And the highest glass cuirass can have 1350 health. So if you have very low armor, that's a lot of clicks to get it all the way up to 1350. Where heavy armor, the lowest iron stuff has 150. The Daedric cuirass has 2,700 health. Now, some people say wearing heavy armor allows you to get armorer up faster. That's not necessarily true, because each click is what gives you repair, or is what gives you experience. And even if your weapon or your armor is only damaged 1, for example, and you have 90 skill, so it would repair at 93, that 1 click will still give you the full amount of experience. So as base, it's going to give you 1.5 experience per click. That's as a minor skill. This is with if you choose combat specialization. This is if you choose it as a major skill, and this is if you choose combat specialization and choose it as a major skill. Now, if you watch my major skills tier list, I rank Armorer as S tier, unless you're being a clothing mage. That's the only exception to using Armorer, and really even, I think that's kind of not the best build, but you know, sometimes you want to role play. So, if you choose combat specialization and Armorer, you'll start at 30 skill. That means you only need this much experience to get up to 50, which would be 388 clicks. If you're picking Orc, you're going to start at 40, and you only need 230 clicks, which actually happens very quickly. 50 is a very important spot because that's actually a massive power boost. Enchanting your gear is huge in this game. If you've watched any of my streams, any of my builds, you need magic equipment to be powerful. You just need it. Without it, you're very weak. If you can't repair it on the go, it's kind of just a pain. It's really a headache. It's really tedious. I think it's very nice to get this up to 50 as fast as possible. The difference from 5 to 25, this is a big difference. This is, if you don't choose combat spec, your choices are between this one here, which I'm going to highlight in red, and this one here, which I'm going to highlight in green. That's like almost half. It's a big deal. I would choose it as a major skill. I don't usually choose combat specialization, but the bonus to armor is actually quite a nice perk. Now, I also want to talk about expert. Getting to 75 is really nice because it changes your armor and your weapon damage. So let's say I have 75 heavy armor skill, and I'm wearing, at that point, probably Orcish. My Orcish armor, when it's fully repaired, will give me a full 46% damage reduction, or 46 shield. If I repair my Orcish armor up to 125 health, it would go up 25% because it's a 1-to-1 multiplier. That would be 58%. If I had a full set of Daedric, that would be 79% defense. In fact, without this bonus to Armorer, even with 100 skill and a full set of Daedric, or a full set of Glass with the 100 perk, which gives you 50% more armor from Glass, making it equivalent to Daedric, this is the best armor in the game with 100 heavy armor skill. But the cap, the armor cap, is 85. So you're still 10% below it. You need to get at least 100, 113 weapon health to get to that 85% cap. And I said weapon health. You know what I meant. 113% armor health. Now this health is a percentage, because remember that Daedric Cuirass has 2700 health. So you need it to be at 125%. That puts you way over the cap for Daedric and Glass. Very late game. This is 100 heavy armor skill, full set of Daedric, including the shield and the armorer perk. This allows your armor to take some damage and still keep you above that armor cap. It does take a long time to get heavy armor and armor up to 75 and 100. So don't undervalue this. This is a big boost, because very often you're at a lower skill, and Daedric would be going from 63 to 79. That's a 16% increase, as in not even a 16% increase. It's more than that. Your effective health will have a big jump there, gaining those last 16% damage reduction because of the way armor has exponential gains. I always say reverse diminishing returns. It has reverse diminishing returns. So getting closer and closer to 85, those last points are really, really, really valuable. So you definitely want to get armor to 75. You will notice that big boost. At 85 heavy armor skill, that's bringing you from 68 to 85. You're going to go from taking 32% damage from enemies to 15%. So it's going to more than double your effective health just being able to repair your armor at that sweet spot in the game. Weapon damage isn't quite as valuable. So if I have, what is this? I believe this is a Daedric Longsword. It has a base weapon damage of 24. I've maxed out my strength. I've maxed out my blade skill. I have full fatigue. I'm going to do 26 damage. I'm going to sneak attack for 156 if I have, the ×6 sneak multiplier. Getting 125 weapon durability is not a 25% damage increase. It's actually just a 12.5% damage increase, because this has it works like fatigue, where having no fatigue doesn't make you do no damage. It reduces your damage by 50%. And doubling your max fatigue is only a 50% damage increase. So weapon durability and fatigue are every 1% gain, or every 2% gain is only a 1% damage gain. And every 2% loss is only a 1% damage loss. Okay, some general tips. Hotkey or hammer. I always make my repair hammer 8. You don't want to be opening your inventory. What a nightmare. Some people use disintegrate armor or disintegrate weapon on self, but I wouldn't waste that much time. It's not worth it. As I already mentioned, it governs endurance. It's only this block and heavy armor. And this is actually a big reason why a battle mage who uses, or sorcerer who uses heavy armor, who uses block, who uses armorer, is really, really worthwhile, especially for the beginning and midpoint of the game. Getting 100 endurance relatively quickly with at least getting +3, preferably +5, it will just make the end game that much easier, because you'll have that much more health. The combat radius, it's a lot smaller than resting. What I'm saying there is that there'll be a lot of times where you can repair, but you cannot rest. So even if you can't rest, it's worth a try to hit that repair hammer hotkey and see if it works. I also want to talk about Fortify Armor. Using a Fortify Armorer spell does not allow you, it does not unlock this expert perk. It does not unlock this journeyman perk. For whatever reason, it does unlock the master perk. So usually, let's say I have 50 armorer, I'll make a custom spell that fortifies my armorer by 50 for 2 seconds. That costs almost no mana. I believe that's a novice skill. It might cost like 18 mana, I think, at 30 skill, if I'm remembering right. Very cheap. And you can cast that, open up the repair hammer menu, repair all your gear, and it won't break any hammers because you're at or above 100 armorer skill. This can be kind of nice if you get into like a really long Oblivion gate and suddenly you're down to 2 hammers. It's like, oh crap, I really don't want to run out. You just start doing that every time. That really getting that 100 per perk, it lets you only carry 1 hammer. It saves you on carry weight. It's not that incredible, but it's nice. Everybody likes carry weight. If I could make changes to armor, it should be an insta repair all button. Maybe it's when you get to 50, I can just hit 8, which will be my armorer hotkey, and it'll just repair all my gear. It won't open up a menu, or maybe it will, and I'll click once instead of like having to spam click. I'm a fast clicker. If you watch my streams, I still have to like spam my mouse for like 10 seconds sometimes, especially late game. For Elder Scrolls 6, I think Skyrim actually did a pretty good job with smithing. I just wish they made it more engaging to level. It's really boring just crafting another necklace, crafting another piece of gear that you're not going to use. I think they should add in a good way to gain experience would be from mining ore, so it'd be more exciting to find that. If you'd not leveled up all your smithing, it's like, oh, I can mine this. It's going to give me a lot of experience. And you should be able to build traps or grenades or other interesting consumables. I think for crafting to be interesting to level, it needs consumables. Otherwise, it's just, okay, make another dagger, enchant it. Okay, make another necklace, enchant it. Like, it's a very boring leveling process in Skyrim, I think. Though, I do think in terms of popularity, people don't like durability, so I can see why Armorer went away. I liked it, but I'm kind of a weirdo. I did also want to talk about a little bit about graphs. So this is this table here in graph form. So, it's not discrete, it's continuous. But for example, like I said, at level 99, let's find 99. I needed 254 experience to get to 100. So as you can see, it's almost linear. Like going from 5, it goes up, but it doesn't go up that crazy differently. And so I actually found the derivative after 5, so before 5, it's kind of a big jump, but we don't, in Oblivion, none of your skills will be below 5. So the amount that it goes up by each time doesn't really go up by much. As you can see, it starts out just below 1, and it ends up, it's going up by like 3 each time. So each level, the amount extra experience it requires isn't that big. Like the jump isn't that big, so the derivative isn't very big, but the integral is, because that adds up over time. So as you can see, to get to 100, it's over 10,000 experience. Now you might notice these numbers aren't exact. Well, this integral includes 0 to 5. It also is a continuous graph where this is a discrete table. Don't worry about the numbers are very, very, very close. The integral is basically like, think of it as the area under the curve. So here, to get the experience needed to get from 5 to 20, all of that added up would be just this dot here. So this 20 is all the experience required combined to get to level 20. All the experience combined to get to level 30. So notice, all the experience combined to get to level 50 is still not very high compared to, it starts to get really high in these later levels. Even if I'm already all the way up to 6,000, I still need thousands more to get up here. So I do like looking at the integral. I think it is interesting. Those first levels go so fast. You really don't need a lot of experience. It's not a huge advantage having a plus 10 bonus to your race because, especially if you don't pick it at a major skill, going from 5 to 15 is hardly a bonus whatsoever. It's 90 experience. Like, that's just not worth worrying about or caring about. I also wanted to add, I am not a nerd. I had to use this. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to use this to find, no, I had to. Are you kidding? Look at that. I'm not doing that. To find the integral, to find the derivative. I teach 7th grade math. I don't teach calculus. Are you kidding me? I took this in high school and I forgot everything about it, other than what a derivative and integral is. You should know what they are. Should you be able to calculate them by hand? No, unless you're not cool. I looked up how to be cool. I'll talk about that later. But using cheats like this, that's part of being cool. All right, thanks for watching.